I'm going to only play 3 songs tonight, and I'm going to talk a lot. So if you give me, again, indulge me. Despite the white in my beard, I'm actually a fairly new performer. I've only been performing for 10 years. 10 years ago, I walked up in front of a microphone, not nearly as fancy as this one, for the very first time with a guitar strapped around my neck. And I sang a few songs for some folks. And at the time I was promoting, I guess, an album that I recorded in my basement. At that time I was freshly 40 years old. I had recorded some songs in my basement. Over the years leading up to that, I had been recording songs for some 20 years, just for myself, into this boombox that I had. Boombox, right? Cassette boombox. I had a guitar in my living room. I'd write these songs. I recorded for myself on cassette into this little recorder. I'd play them in my car as I went back and forth to work. And then faced with my 40th birthday, I said, if I'm ever going to do anything with these songs, I better do it now, because I'm getting old and I got to do something. So I got down in my basement and I figured out how to self-produce an album, and I did. My kids were getting a little bit, you don't have to applaud, it's okay. My kids were getting a little bit older, and I said, I'm going to write a kids album. And I wrote a batch of songs, and I'm going to play you a song. The song is called The Elephant, and this was an attempt at the time to write a kid's song, and when you hear it, you're going to say, that's not a kid's song. But I thought it was, kind of at the time. And I'd also like to thank Carolyn, by accident, not putting me after all the ukulele players, because I'm only here by myself. This is a banjolele, by the way, for the record. The elephant, he roams to forage to and fro. He chews upon the palmy fronds with belly-filling flow. The elephant did laugh in jungle, field, and path. He played a game with hippodames. He hid and ran and rolled. The elephant, he sings in pools of where he drinks, avoiding death by taking breath. He floats when full with air. The elephant did see men coming through the trees. He had a thought, perhaps he ought to make himself less there. Watch as he goes, and follows his trunk he knows. The elephant, his trumpet chant, is heard when oft he blows. A lumbering fool didn't learn much in school, but what's the need as long as he is bigger than the cruel? The elephant did swing, head in the dark, I think, and in the end, the elephant, he vanished in thin air. Ooh. let's psychoanalyze that song for a moment, shall we? Yeah, let this go. So again, not really a kid song, but okay, a little dark. All right, so let's move on. The last time I was here was almost exactly a year and a half ago, February of 2023. I run the Manchester CT Songwriters Association, and I feel that group meets every 2 weeks, every other Monday, pretty religiously. We might skip if that Monday happens to fall on a major holiday, or if, I don't know, somebody's sick, but in general, or I guess if I'm sick, somebody else is sick, they just don't show up. So I feel obligated as the guy who runs that group to write a song at every group, so the songs kind of pile up. And I feel obligated to write a pretty good song if I can. And the songs have kind of piling up. So what happened was I really did have a pretty good stockpile of songs. So the last time I was here, I was promoting an album, which was like my 14th or 15th album. Since that one 10 years ago, I've released a lot of albums, but I still have this big stockpile of songs. So since then, a year and a half ago, and I promise I'm not saying this to brag, I'm not, I just had a lot of songs. I have released 124 songs. I released an album. I released an album that was all banjo songs since that appearance. I released a 100-song album, which was kind of a clearing of the archives, and I've released another album, which was, oh my God, I'm done with this 100-song album. I need to do something else, which was another album. And now that I'm done with that, I'm almost done with yet another album. And so my goal, actually, for 2024 is to actually release 124 songs in 2024. Because why not, So my wife and I have been married. I'm going to tell you just a quick story. I will keep it short. My wife and I have been married for 28 years. We just had our anniversary. We haven't gone on a real vacation in those 28 years. And we decided, let's go visit my family in California. And so we scheduled a vacation. And we just so happened to schedule that vacation on the week of the crowd strike thing that happened. And so as we were flying to California and landed in Minneapolis, our connecting flight was canceled. And we got off the plane and we said, oh, our connecting flight is canceled. We'll go to the Delta counter and they'll tell us what to do, and someone helpful will surely help us. And it turned out that no one was going to help us, and Delta said, it's not our fault. We're not going to give you any help whatsoever. We're not going to put you up in a hotel. We're not going to pay for your meals. You're on your own, and your next possible maybe flight is in 3 or 4 days. Good luck. And here's a roll-out mattress, and here's a nice spot on the floor here if you'd like to sleep. And my wife and I said, go to hell. And we, long story short, found a way to get our luggage, and we found a way to fight through the crowds and got ourselves a vehicle, the one remaining vehicle in Minneapolis, which happened to be a very large red Dodge pickup truck. And we drove from Minneapolis to Sacramento, California. Which, instead of waiting 3 or 4 days, we got there in about 2 days. And that experience has inspired an album. So I'm going to sing you 2 songs from the album that's just about done, and I will have it done by the end of the year, and that will those 12 songs will make the 124th songs. So again, here's 2 songs from the album. This first one I don't think needs a whole lot of introduction. She is a lone avenger, a one-winged angel in a holy war, where the skies are orange, the clouds are gray like white, and her eyes they burn like a sun in a cage at night. Oh, she loves like razors, she bites like flowers in morning light. Yeah, she'll talk a day into tomorrow like it never was. But those eyes, they never take one lick to stop a while. She told an undertaker she wouldn't hear what he was saying. She'd take a cardboard box if in cardboard boxes were the cheapest way. But the undertaker gave a paper bag and she went on her way. I could tell a time, but if I'd untold, that'd be telling's last. 'Cause she'd take my tongue and she'd take my hands and she'd take them fast. But that story is one you would never grab me for having passed. She's a bench seat, red stitched upholstery, flower in a big red pickup truck, with her fingers co-mingled on the flip down armrest, baby. Ain't nowhere we can't go. She hears the ghosts in silence, they tell her things gonna be alright. And when I'm on the wheel, she runs her hand down my heart and spine. And when the spirit's gone, she closes her eyes for another fight. She has a gift for guidance, she knows her way around the stars. She'll lay a hand on ground and tell you what you carry on, that you should have left behind before you left it all. She's a bench seat, red stitched upholstery, flower in a big red pickup truck, with her fingers co-mingled on the flip down armrest, baby. Ain't nowhere we can't go. Ain't nowhere we can't go. Ain't nowhere we can't go. On the way to Sacramento, you can't really time things out on a trip like this, but we did pick our route to see some major things, you know. So I found myself because everyone else was asleep. It was 1 a.m. and I'm looking at the entrance of Yellowstone National Park. Oh, and I didn't mention our 15-year-old son was with us in this big red pickup truck, which was an extended cab, wasn't that. And we had been driving for I had been driving for quite a long time. I used the royal we a lot. And I was faced with a moment, like, it's 1 o'clock, it's pitch black, we're about to go into Yellowstone National Park. I could pull over and get a few hours of sleep, and then I could wake everybody up, and we could maybe look at all this. That might be cool. Or I could just go and get through this and maybe get there a little sooner. This song is called Yellowstone by Cover of Dark. I made a decision. Still no guarded wall, nor some fencing tall. Just one big old sign says we're here. We'll be good to sleep, get a quick bite to eat. Stretch and step, maybe 3. Every goddamn delay added more goddamn days to the time that we're fixing to get. So with a plunge in the dark, we tear into the heart. To hell with the thoughts of regret. If the sun was up high and all this darkness daylight, we'd be stunned by the beauty surround. But on this dark twisted ride, we got kaleidoscope minds to fill in all the colors and sides. Can't help but laugh as another car passed. Whether they thinking just what we are. People come around the globe just to stand where we drove, and we can't see 5 yards from the car. What the hell there to do? Got 3 states to get through. We got big places to be.